Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam ala rasulullah. Hello, my dear students. Today, we'll continue with Cambridge Global English 6. Unit 4, Lesson 4, Part number 2. We have Learner's Book, page number 57, and Activity Book, page number 47. So, be ready with your books. Start now. The first part is in this page, and we've covered it in the last part, and now we're having the second part, page number 57. So hurry up, open page number 57. Talk. What sound effects and special effects could you add to these scenes? Which scenes would you add them to? Why don't we add to scene 1? Let's put a in scene 2. How about, okay, what is this? I think this is a part of a conversation. Yeah, when you discuss something and you give your opinion about how to decorate a scene. Do you know what I mean by decorate a scene? To add something to make it more beautiful, to make it more effective. Decoration can be with the special effects in the video or even in the audio. Okay, so how can we say this? How can we express our opinion? We can suggest something like this. Why don't we add some special effects? Why don't we add some audio, some sounds of cars maybe in this scene or to scene number 1? So you can use beginnings and endings like this to express your opinion. Another way, you can use the word let's. For example, let's put a dinosaur image, for example, in scene number 2. Or you can use how about. How about comes with verb plus ing. Don't forget. So how about adding or add? Yes. How about adding something to scene number 2, for example. All of these can be used in dialogues or conversations, or when you talk about your opinion or suggest something. Here's a writing tip. Use direct speech and reporting verbs. Use direct speech to make your story more interesting. Use different verbs to show how people said things. Use speech marks and commas at the end. When there is a question or exclamation mark, don't use a comma. These tips are important when you write. We call all of this punctuation. The full stop, the inverted commas or the speech commas, the question marks, speech marks, and so on. All of these are, yes, we know them. They are used in writing. For example, look at the marks here, which are in red font. What is this? And this. Here, let me make it comfortable for you. It's between commas. What do we call these commas? Yes, we call them speech marks. Speech marks, when you take a quotation or a saying by someone, normally in stories, you put them between inverted commas or the speech marks. If you continue, you end with a comma here. This part ends with a comma because you continue saying the reporting verb, he sniggered. Okay? After that, we finish this part. We start again with speech marks. Oh no, not again. Here is an exclamation mark. And after that, we put the last speech mark side that. So this is an example when we narrate something, when we tell something, or when we report something, especially when we read novels or stories, we see things like this. You can use them, and you will use them, practice them more, especially in the activity or the workbook, inshallah. So be careful about using them. Here is the punctuation. Add punctuation to the next 4 scenes. Change said to a different verb. Do you know any other verbs that can replace the word said? Yes, we know. Sniggered, insisted, sighed, whispered, asked, according to the situation, of course, according to the meaning. Okay, pay attention that you can use some verbs twice, then draw and describe what happens in the next scene. Scene 7. So that's why he wants me to sleep there. Well, I've got other ideas, said Horace. What is missing here? If you go back to this slide, remember to add the speech marks in their proper place. If you have a reporting verb, you can use said or another verb according to the meaning, and complete the punctuation and tell me, so that's why he wants me to sleep there. Well, I've got other ideas, said Horace. Where should we put the speech marks? Yes, you're right, in the very beginning here, and before the word said. Here, this is the end of his speech. What should we do here? Should I put a full stop or a comma? If I end with this, so we need a full stop, but I need to put a comma here because I completed with the speech verb. So a comma here, and after that the inverted comma, said Horace. The second thing, I want you to replace this verb said with another verb. Choose one from here. So sniggered, insisted, sighed, whispered, asked. Which one do you think? Okay, you decide, and I'll leave you with the remaining part of the exercise. You can revise it with your teacher later. Let's move now to writing. Create a storyboard. Use one of the trailers on page 50 for ideas, or think of your own. Include some dialogue and 2 or 3 sentences to explain each scene. If you have ideas for music or special effects, include those two. Don't worry about being a good artist. Simple drawings and stick figures are fine. Use color if you want to. Make your storyboard into a poster and display it on your classroom wall. Read other groups' storyboards and think of a film title for each idea. This is a project. I hope that we come back to school very soon so that we can do such projects that decorate our classrooms. Of course, you'll have some time to discuss it with your teacher if you prefer to come to school, or you can do it at home with the help of some adults. Okay, now let's move to the workbook, page number 47. We have punctuation here, direct speech. Add speech marks, exclamation marks, and commas to the dialogue, then match the dialogue with the pictures and text in activity 1. Here are some sentences that need punctuation marks and needs to match them to the pictures. So please do it, pause the video, start doing it, and we'll check later. Here are the answers. Compare them to what you've done. Okay, let's move to the last part, which is a challenge. Write sentences and dialogues in your notebook for the next 2 scenes of the story. So I leave this to your imagination. Thank you very much for watching. That was the end of my lesson today. Thank you and goodbye.